Okay, I started this with a whole, I guess, other guidance in place, and then when I started to record, I heard whatever you want, oh 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 oh, whatever you need, oh yeah, my heart belongs to you. There's so much like love energy coming, and it's not just like love from another person, but it's like love from the universe. It's like a universal love song, and it's like whatever you want, whatever you need, like I'm about to give it to you, baby. Like whatever it is. Like didn't expect this. I love when I get unexpected readings. It just like, I am not God. I am not the divine most high, one true creator. And so I don't know it all. I'm not omnipotent. I don't know it all, see it all. I don't. But I do get a significant amount of insight. So some things just aren't a surprise sometimes. Sometimes we're just like, felt that, seen that, sensed that, smelled that, kind of tasted that was coming. But this time I didn't get any of that, you guys. It was just something totally different that I was going to channel. They just switched it on me last minute, did it on them. So I am going to pull some cards on this one. They're telling me to pull some cards. They kind of like it when I pull cards. And what's so funny, while we tap into this energy of your receiving, I think I'm going to use the Angels of Abundance Oracle card deck. This deck has been with me through a lot, so you can't really see it, but it looks like this. This is from the homegirl Doreen Virtue when she was in the game, and it's one of my favorite decks. They're also, okay, so they also have me using this deck potentially, and then the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Let me set my phone up because I'm holding it, and how am I going to shuffle? How am I going to shuffle? How am I do that? Okay. Woo. All right. They always have me channeling just out the blue. They just be calling me like, come do this, come do that, which I love. Like, we ain't hating on it. We like it. We like it. But it is giving, celebration energy. It's giving congratulations. It's giving whatever you want. Da, 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 da. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that song just will not leave. It's in my head. It's here. Whatever you want, they want you to embody that energy. Like I can have whatever it is that I want at any time that I want it, and just focusing on that. There was a great spiritual battle that was occurring. Like when you incarnated in this earth, oh my God. Oh my God. When you incarnated on this earth, I'm being shown like a spiritual battle. I'm being shown that when you incarnated here, the enemies of the light, they didn't like that. And like, they're telling me to tell you, so like the enemies of the light are actively against goodness. They are actively against that energy of like love and abundance and the beauty of being in connection and community and universal oneness. They don't like that. So they're actively against it. That's why they're enemies, because they are actively against people having good and being good and experiencing good things. Like they are actively against it. So you incarnating on this earth, your soul had a really high soul purpose. And the purpose of your soul was to come and spread light, no matter what. In the darkest of times, that is why so many of us, because I am one of the warriors of the light as well, the collective of which I channel for, so many of us were incarnated into dark situations because you can see the light best when you're in the dark. Same with stars. Stars can't shine if it's not dark. So the same with you. You're a star. And I also just saw the star card in my mind's eye. So when you incarnated with all that light, the enemies were like, oh no, so much light, we gotta duel it. What they didn't realize is that the darker they made things, the more you shined. And then the more aware you became of your own light. And then the wounds that were inflicted upon you, you healed. 10 of Swords. You healed. Every time a sword was stuck in you, you pulled that sword out, you started to heal. Confirmation. You didn't allow it to break you. You didn't allow it to make you into a despicable person. You didn't allow it to create a monster. You became more light. So everything they thought they were stabbing you with just made you more of a sieve for light to shine through. So right now, Okay. All right. Sorry, you guys. Like, you guys give me so much. Oh my God. So they're saying that when you started to shine this light more, the enemy was like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do? But you transmuted all that light. You're shining bright. I'm seeing a person in the universal astral space. If you know God, if you have a relationship with God, then you have been to outer space before. Period, point blank, full stop. Like, if you've been there in your dreams, you've been there in a vision, because that's God's domain. So you've been there. So I'm seeing a light being, like, just exploding light. Oh my God. And then on the TV, there just popped up a little picture, my screensaver, like a randomized screensaver with like a light, like the sun, but it has like all these beams. So confirmation, 545. So you're a light beam. You shine so much light, it just alchemized the whole situation. And the light that you were shining came directly from the divine, amplified your like personal light that you were gifted as a child, and bam, boom, bam, bam, bang. Because of that, and you alchemizing this battle through your light. So what the enemy thought, like, okay, we're going to battle and we're going to bring them down. No, actually, that's not what happened. You alchemized it. You became powerful through the light of God. And then now you're here where you can get whatever you want. You're in alignment. You're in alignment. The dreams of abundance that you've always had, you've had those dreams because you were always supposed to be abundant. You've always been abundant. It's basically like, they're showing me The Little Princess. If you ever read the book The Little Princess, the girl was rich, filthy rich, okay? Born rich, born wealthy. Her papa gave her everything. I believe that's what she called him, papa. Gave her everything, her father. Her father got sick, injured, had amnesia. She was at a boarding school. They started treating her poorly. They were already very jealous of her. Okay, they were already very jealous of, like, who does this girl think she is? The grown-ups, the kids, everybody was jealous of her, right? But then she always kept that sweetness about her. She also had a really feisty, spicy personality, which, if you know God and you serve him, you know God loves him, a person with a little spice. He just wants to use that spice for his purpose, okay? But them attempting to make her feel like she was nothing when her dad had amnesia and could no longer afford to pay for her boarding school. They didn't know if he was dead, alive, whatever. They made her into a pauper. They made her into a servant. All these things, try to put her down. And she continuously held on hope. Like, she's like, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Eventually, she gets back in touch with her dad. She's back on her rich girl. I heard she's back on her rich girl shit. Okay. And she's doing her thing. But that's the same with you, is that you have always known that you're wealthy. You've had a divine inheritance. You know who your father is. Your father is God. Your father is the king of abundance. You've always known that. So no matter what people tried to make you feel like that you were less than, or that you were nothing based off of material possessions, or they tried to make you feel like you were so weird because you didn't go with the negatives of society, and how what's negative in society is touted as positive, and what's positive is touted as negative, and you stayed with the positive no matter what. You always knew who you were. You always knew those dreams and everything that you've known. You're going to now see that in the physical. You're about to be on the flip side, where you were treated as a servant and as a pauper, and now you're about to really be living in that wealth the way you deserve, the way you've always known it's supposed to be. So don't give up on that. Spend time in nature. And choosing, and I'm not even going to use the word exercise, but choose an activity that moves your physical body, that is fun for you, that is meaningful, that does not feel like work. Exercise should not make you throw up at the end. We have very negative connotations with work. We think that work should be miserable, when honestly work should be fun and playful. You should be able to get everything done, still have fun, and still be playful, because that combats stress. You don't need stress right now. Stress is not something we deal with. Stress is not in our orbit. We don't deal with that. What is that? 909. Please have the courage to speak up for yourself. Even if people act weird about it, even if people think they're judging you, remember, every time somebody judges you, they're just judging themselves. And every measure with which someone judges, they're judged the same. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. And when you ask for this help, be open to accept and receive this help, especially from your spirit team. And when you've gone through things in the human life that has affected you mentally, which is a lot of the wounds that we heal are mental wounds, where our brain is like a computer program. And when it goes through a lot of negative things and a lot of trauma, it's kind of programmed to see that trauma around every corner. It's kind of programmed to react in a traumatic fashion. It's programmed to do a lot of different things. But it is truly safe for you to receive and to accept help. Part 2 coming.